Central with Burt Barron on the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey. From politics to entertainment, from social issues to lifestyles, from newsmakers to pop culture. If it's Jersey, it's on Jersey Central with Burt Barron, 732-545-9282. Or toll free at 888-545-9282.
7:37, we are back on Jersey Central. It's Tell a Friend Tuesday on the new Talk Radio WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey. Our New Jersey Monthly segment with editor Ken Schlager of New Jersey Monthly Magazine is coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. Also, later this morning, your chance to win some New Jersey Instant Lottery tickets, so stick around for that. Joining me now on the Raritan Bay Medical Center Jersey Newsmaker Hotline, one of my new favorite features that we have here every Tuesday. I'm joined by Barry Blank, who is the president and founder of National Estate Jewelers, and we talk about a segment of things that are of interest to Barry and are of interest to you as well. So let's welcome in Barry for this edition of What's It Worth. Hello, Barry. Welcome back to WCTC. How are you?
I'm wonderful, and how are you on this
good.
Wonderful morning?
Great. Looking forward to today's segment. Before we dive in and talk about today's topic, some exciting news about what's going to be happening every Tuesday at your store in East Brunswick. You want to talk about what's available every Tuesday?
Sure. We have appraisers and buyers on hand to do free verbal evaluations on anything you want to bring in. If we can't find it, we'll find the information for you. This is a new idea to get people more knowledgeable of us and our location and our knowledge as gemologists, numismatists, horologists. That's a great word, isn't it?
Yeah.
Et cetera, and our expertise in many areas of the antique and collectible world.
Oh, very good. So that'll be every Tuesday at your shop in East Brunswick, a free verbal evaluation. So I like that.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah, sure.
Well, thank you so much for doing that. All right, let's talk about today's topics. We're talking about watches. Let's dive in and talk about this. Are watches an investment, and what exactly is an investment when it comes to watches, Barry?
Well, an investment, you'll be surprised to know that high school students don't know what a profit is. And simply stated, it's buying something for one price and selling it for another at a higher price, and coming out with extra money or surplus money, and that's the profit. But can you make a profit on a watch? Well, generally, you can't make a profit on anything brand new unless it's a fad, and that's usually going to be short-lived. For instance, a name brand watch like a Rolex comes out and it's new price $15,000 to $20,000. That watch on the secondhand market is going to be 20 to 30% less, like most things on the market. However, if you buy like a lower end watch, and I'm not going to say that a name for slander reasons, but if you buy anything in a watch market, you're going to get either no value on the secondhand market or very small value. So you really got to know.
Yeah. So watches do more than just tell time. They can actually be an investment.
They can be, and I suggest buying secondhand timepieces where the market is already proven, and you can find them in many places. So you can look online, you can go to stores, you could travel, you can go to auctions, but you got to know.
Right. Barry, right now, if somebody in front of me put a $20,000 watch and a $20 watch that, based upon as I looked at them, looked exactly the same, I would have no way to tell which one was the bona fide one and which one was the ripoff. Is there a simple way to tell the difference between a watch if it's genuine or a fake?
Well, this is an issue in every area of watches, even if the less expensive watches are being copied. But simply put, you have to have experience. If you have a magnifier and you look at the dial of the watch, you will see distinct differences. But you have to be knowledgeable. One way you can find out, a simpler way, is to go on YouTube and put in a replica Rolex or replica Patek Philippe or anything, and there are people who posted many ways to tell a replica from the real thing. But just be really wary and buy only from a knowledgeable person who you feel confident in.
Yeah, I guess someone who's reputable, I guess, is who you want to do business with
somebody who's
like
been in existence, somebody who has like we do. We've been in our location since 1999 with a Better Business Bureau rating of A+ with 0, and I'll repeat that, zero complaints in 16 years.
Wow. Wow, that's great.
So,
Now, say, for example, someone's watch breaks, Barry. Nowadays, we live in such a disposable society. Something breaks, you'll buy a new one. What about a watch? Is it worth getting it fixed, or at least getting an estimate to get a watch fixed?
I just had a Citizen watch fixed for my father-in-law, and the cost of fixing the watch for, of course it was my father-in-law, so I gave him a special break. He actually got a birthday present with it. Was $75. This watch came back brand new. It was probably a $300 watch, but you got to base it upon if it means something to you, because often on the less expensive watches, the repair cost exceeds the value of the watch. So it's a personal thing, and also if the watch is like a Patek Philippe and it's going to cost you $200 or $300 or $400 to fix it, it's worth it. If it's a less expensive watch and it's going to cost $200 or $300 or $400 to fix it, it may not be worth it unless you love that timepiece.
Gotcha. And speaking of the Patek Philippe, let's say, for example, somebody wants to find a buyer for one of those. Is there a special process or a special way that's done for a watch like that?
Same thing you would do anywhere. You go online, you look up reviews, you look at people who buy watches. We buy anything in watches. We have been right now. We're looking at a $100,000 to $200,000 Patek Philippe that we're negotiating the purchase, or we're actually going. We might be able to take it on a consignment and act as our client's agent and sell it, and make a commission. So,
Wow. How
you know,
often
you
does one of those walk in the front door? Not that often?
we had this come in. This is the first one of this type. This watch we've had in. We had a Patek Philippe pocket watch come in the door that was worth $20,000-$30,000.
Hmm.
So we've had some beautiful watches. We've had high-end Rolex, Audemars Piguet, Vacheron and Constantin. We've had these beautiful watches come in, and we just are the place a lot of people come to.
Yeah. Does a watch have to be functional? Does it have to be in working condition for you, Barry?
Well, it doesn't. It does not have to be working. If it is working, it's easier for us to make an offer, because you never can tell exactly what's wrong with a broken watch, which is another misnomer. People come in and they say, "Oh, my watch is overwound."
Yes.
Well, an overwound watch is a broken watch. It means that it cannot wind it down, and something is stopping it from winding down. When you have a hand wound watch, you can wind it fully right till it stops winding. If it's running correctly. Otherwise, people say it's overwound because it's not running.
Gotcha.
But
And even
okay,
and even that one's right twice a day, right?
yeah, that's what my dad would have said.
That's right. Talk about a railroad watch, Barry. I've never heard of a railroad watch before. What's that about?
Well, in the mid 1800s, there was a major train wreck because of two trains that should not have been on the same track, and they were heading in towards each other. And the conductors had mistimed their watches. Um, so at that time, I don't exactly know the date. The American Watch Association or the Railroad Association created a specific amount of jewels, which are the synthetic rubies that allow the watch to function beautifully. Um, they This has to be a very, very fine, critically timed timepiece, and these watches have nice value, starting at as low as $75, but going up into the hundreds or thousands.
Wow.
And they never, by the way, they never have a picture of a railroad on the back, as people think. Those are just fake copies made for people who just wanted to think they had a railroad watch.
No, something else you have to watch out for. No pun
Yeah.
intended. That's not genuine. How about cleaning a watch? Does that involve kind of stripping the gears out and cleaning it up and putting it back together? How does one get a watch cleaned?
Well, first of all, you almost never have to have a watch cleaned. People will dispute what I'm saying, especially the major manufacturers today, who want you to come in and have your watch cleaned every year or two so they can charge you an arm and a leg. But cleaning when a watch is not functioning, keeping proper time, or stopping, or working erratically, you bring it to a person like me in my store, and we have watchmakers who will look at the watch, diagnose the problem, and then very often they will disassemble the watch, clean it, which is a technical term of putting it through solutions and then drying it, oil the watch, time the watch, and put it back together. And on modern watches, check it for waterproof.
So that's the cleaning process. That's what it involves.
Yeah, that's what the cleaning process involves, and
Okay.
it's sort of a misnomer, but it's actually cleaning off congealed oil, making sure that the hairspring is correct, and there are many parts of the watch.
How possibly did watchmakers for centuries, without computers and some often case without things like electricity, using just basically primitive tools that they made, how were they able to make these elaborate timepieces centuries ago, Barry? That always baffled me.
It baffles me too, and always will. But they were able to. Timepieces have been made for hundreds and hundreds of years, and probably in the 12th and 13th and 14th centuries when we started to make clocks. And these timepieces were not exactly accurate, but as we got on, they were chain-driven watches, then spring-driven watches, and the first wristwatches were actually pocket watches that were converted to wristwatches, so they were huge.
Just put a strap on it, and there you go. You made a wristwatch,
Pretty,
right?
pretty much. We
Very
find
good.
these occasionally.
Well, very good. Well, great to have you, Barry. I really enjoy our Tuesday feature together every week. So today, make sure you get over to Barry's store, National Estate Jewelers on Route 18 North in East Brunswick. They're going to be giving, as a celebration of Barry's feature every Tuesday here on WCTC, free verbal evaluations. So make sure you get to the store and take advantage of that. And we'll do this again next week, Barry. What are we going to talk about? Something to do with market fluctuations?
Market fluctuations. What causes trends? What trends are there in jewelry, and why do we want white gold as opposed to yellow gold? Is silver in vogue, or what about the styles from the 1940s and 1950s and what happened to them? You know.
Very
So,
good. Very
okay.
good. Excellent. Very good, Barry. I enjoy our conversations every week. We'll do this again next Tuesday, sir. Okay?
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. All right. Barry Blank, my guest, president and owner, founder of National Estate.